Well, hello, my friends. Welcome to Granny B's house. Are you having a good day? Oh, I hope so. Granny B's having a good day. Are you remembering to be kind to all those people around you? I bet you are. Are you thinking about little acts of kindness you can do to make this world a better place? I hope so. It also makes your world a better place when you make the world a better place for others, you know. Well, you know who likes to make the world a better place, and that's Pete the cat. Don't we love Pete the cat? Well, Granny B has one more story to read you from this Pete the Cat's 5-minute bedtime stories. It's written by Kimberly and James Dean, and this story is about a train trip. Pete the cat is taking a train trip. You know, sometimes Granny B would take the train all the way to Texas just to see my family, my sons, my grandkids. I just love going to visit them on the train. And when I take the train from here, I have to ride the train all night. Yeah, but it's fun. I get to meet all kinds of new friends on the train. Granny B likes to make new friends. But not about Granny B. This is about Pete the cat. So let's talk about Pete the cat's train trip. Pete loves trains. Whoops, let me find this page. There we go. He loves the way they look. He loves the way they sound. He even loves the way they smell. Now, Pete is going to visit his grandma, and he gets to ride on a train. Pete's mom buys 3 tickets. She gives one to Pete, one to Bob, and keeps one for herself. Keep these tickets safe, Mom says. You won't be able to ride the train without them. Pete holds his ticket tight. He can't believe it. His very first train ticket. He hopes he gets to keep it. Inside, Pete waits impatiently for the train. Is it time yet? He asks. Mom shakes her head. Not yet, she says. How about now? Pete asks. Pete's mom brings him to the train board. It shows where all the trains are going and what time they arrive at. Our train comes at 10 o'clock, she says. Just then, a train pulls into the station. Is that it? Pete asks. Bob shakes his head. Sorry, Pete, that one's going the other direction. Another train speeds through the station without stopping. What happened? Pete asked. Why didn't it stop? It's a cargo train, Bob explains. It carries things from place to place, not passengers. Finally, Pete's train arrives. The doors slide open and the conductor steps out. All aboard, he shouts. Pete follows his mom onto the train. As they walk, he looks around. The train is full of passengers. It's so exciting. I can't wait to see Grandma, Bob says. I can't wait to explore the train, says Pete. A fan of trains, are you? The conductor says, collecting Pete's ticket. I always liked them too. Ever since I was a boy, I've been a big fan. I love trains, Pete says. This is my first time on one. The conductor hands Pete's ticket back to him. Well then, you'll want to keep this so you'll always remember your first time on a train. The conductor moves on to collect the rest of the passengers' tickets, but he isn't gone long. A few minutes later, he comes back with a gift for Pete. It's an engineer's hat. The conductor places the hat on Pete's head. How about a tour of the train, he says. Oh, Pete grins far out. Pete follows the conductor from car to car. The ground rumbles under his feet. This, says the conductor, when they reached the last car, is the caboose. Pete looked out the window. They're going over a bridge. Groovy, he says. Next, the conductor leads Pete to the front of the train. Come in, says the engineer. Pete walks in and looks around. Wow, he says. The engineer shows Pete the engine. He shows Pete the train brakes. He looks out the front of the train. Everything looks so different from up here. Look, he said, a tunnel. Pete watches through the window as they go through the tunnel. The train's light shines on the track. Hey, kid, the engineer says, you want to give the horn a try? Pete can't believe it. You bet, he says. Toot, toot. That was awesome, Pete says. As Pete makes his way back to his seat, he meets the other passengers on the train. They are all going different places for different reasons. Pete plays a game with one of the passengers. He sings a song with another. What a groovy ride. Finally, Pete gets back to his seat. There you are, Pete's mom says. Our stop is next. Pete climbs onto his seat and looks out the window. Slowly, the train comes into sight. On the platform, Pete sees his grandma. As soon as the train comes to a stop, he races out to greet her. Grandma, Grandma, Pete shouts, I got to see the caboose and the engine and honk the horn. Pete's grandma gives him a big hug. That sounds like quite the exciting trip, she says. Pete hugs his grandma back. It was, he says, but I'm glad we're here now. I love trains, but I love being with you even more. Ah, that's just the way Granny B feels when she gets to Texas and sees her son and her grandkids and all the family down there. So I'm excited that maybe one of these days you might get to ride a train. You probably won't get to go up in the engine like Pete did. And some of the trains nowadays don't even have a caboose. But what a fun adventure for Pete. Well, you just remember that going to see your grandma is a wonderful thing to do. So I hope you'll make time to do that one of these days. Maybe even today. Well, you know Granny B loves you. And you know Granny B wants you to come back and see me again real soon so I can read you another story. Okay? Bye-bye.